So it seems just a few months ago, I covered Cherry Punk on my channel, and now we have a flanker to it, if you will. This is Cherry Punk Extrait de Parfum. Here is a fragrance that combines cherry with mimosa, a little bit of violet, some saffron, some leather, black leather, according to the note breakdown. So here is a dark, edgy, slightly sweet fragrance with a little bit of spice. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video and I give you my thoughts on Cherry Punk by Room 1015, and of course this is the Extrait de Parfum version, I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell icon, and please give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would greatly assist with a lot of things, so thank you for all of it. Thank you for your support. Here we have a fragrance that combines cherry and leather. Now that is an amazing combination. Of course, there has been Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, which has had that thick, syrupy, viscous griotte syrup type of a cherry ingredient. And of course, there's also Venom of Love by Navitus Parfum, which combines cherry with chocolate. So that took a more gourmand approach. This one is punk. This one is edgy. This one is all about rock and roll. This one is an amazing fragrance, and I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. So to start things off, this fragrance opens up with the namesake of the perfume, which is cherry. You're going to get a lot of cherry, as if the name and the color didn't give it away. But you're also going to get the punk vibe, which is coming forth from that leather accord. Now, the leather is the saffron, of course. Saffron is used to create the effect of leather because there is no real leather in this fragrance. You cannot distill the essence from a piece of leather. So perfumers rely on an accord. And speaking of perfumer, the perfumer for this is Jerome Epinette. He has done many fragrances for Byredo and Atelier Cologne, and he's an amazing perfumer. He's even done a fragrance or more for Frappant, which is a cognac company. Here we have this beautiful combination of cherry and leather. And of course, there's a little bit of mimosa in here, and mimosa is a really interesting ingredient because it has a smell that has gotten compared to almond flour, F-L-O-U-R. So there's a little bit of that, there's a little bit of violet, but this one doesn't have a strong floral tendency. I recall also reading jasmine in the note breakdown, but again, if you're going into this expecting a floral experience, that's not what you're going to get here. In terms of the cherry is quite brilliant. At times it smells like almond, it smells like heliotrope, it has this beautiful personality to it. And of course, the dry down with the leather and the woods is also to die for. Now, of course, one would ask as a consumer, and I think this is a very fair question to ask, what is the difference between the original release and the Extrait de Parfum? So my impression is this one is going to give you better performance and the leather is more pronounced. So perhaps in the other one, I think the focal point was the cherry, and I think it opens up very tart. There's a bit of sweetness coming forth from it. It's quite spicy and it has this beautiful personality. Now here we have that dry down that is amped up. This one is going to give you a few extra hours on your skin. So of course the question is, do I prioritize performance over diffusiveness? Of course, when there's more alcohol in a product, it's going to be more diffusive. There is less alcohol and there's more oil, it's going to last longer, but the projection might be minimized by a bit. And of course, this is a trick that, creative directors and perfumers and brands use all the time to choose and to try to navigate or figure out what is the perfect amount of diffusiveness for a product. So anyway, if you're looking for a cherry and leather fragrance and you want to prioritize longevity, that's important to you. You want a long-lasting product and something that has that charisma, something that has that attitude, something that embodies that rock and roll / punk aesthetic. Check out Cherry Punk Extrait de Parfum by Room 1015. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, of course, this does smell a lot like the original Cherry Punk, and of course that also smells like a few other cherry based fragrances, but of course the inclusion of the leather or the saffron in here really catapults this into a whole new arena of olfaction, and I'm a huge fan of what the brand has done with this, and I think it's a combination made in heaven. Cherry and leather, I think it works so perfectly, and if you try this one, you'll know exactly what I mean. Longevity on this one is going to be about 11 hours on skin. This one lasts a very long time, very base heavy in my opinion. In terms of the projection is a little bit less. So you're going to get about an hour's projection within an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 8, a skin scent right around hour 11, 12, depending on your skin chemistry. As far as the versatility goes, perfectly unisex, great for a formal occasion because I do think it's a very special blend. I think this one is great for the colder weather, fall and winter, and I do think anybody of any age can appreciate this one as well. The leather and the spices would cater to the sensibilities of somebody who's a little bit older. The sweetness might cater to somebody who's a little bit younger. As far as the presentation is concerned, they opted for a silver cap as opposed to a black cap, so a subtle change in the presentation. If you juxtapose them, you'll see they look quite similar with a few subtle changes and tweaks here and there. But my final verdict is, if you're in the market for an amazing, super high quality cherry and leather fragrance, Cherry Punk Extrait de Parfum by Room 1015 is the way to go. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope you took something of value from today's episode, and if you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. Thanks again for everything. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.